What's up guys, welcome back to another classic episode of Think Tank Thursday. Thanks for joining me again. This is where we go over everything you need to know about parkour so you can smash through your plateaus and smash through your mind, take care of your body. Everything you need to know, bringing my 12 years of parkour experience to you so that you can jump over any pitfalls and not have to waste your time with dead ends. Today is going to be the first part of a two-part series where I teach you how to manage your energy. Firstly, in this episode, throughout the session, and then secondly, throughout your week, your time away from your sessions, so you can properly flow through your session and through your life. So today we're going to cover how to manage your energy throughout a training session. Now you might be thinking, why is this important? I just want to go out and train with my friends, and that's absolutely fine. Obviously, parkour is about fun and it's about enjoying yourself, but this is something that's going to help you not only enjoy yourself more because it's going to leave you less frustrated, but it's also going to allow you to make a lot more progress a lot faster. So if you're interested in that, stick around, that's what we're covering. So this is something I've only sort of thought about in the last year, and it's something that's made a massive difference to my training as a whole. You basically want to be thinking about your session in a way where you know what you're going to be doing throughout, not necessarily the specific challenges, but what kind of challenges you're going to be after, so that you know how much energy you've got through the day and how to properly hit those beats of energy that you get through the day. Because it's not like you go out and you just don't get tired and you just, you know, your body is like at full pelt, full max all the way through the session. It's the case that you have a limited amount of energy, and if you work it right, you can use that energy more effectively to make more progress and to hit more challenges throughout the day. Now generally what we'll do is we'll go out and we'll just be like, well, whatever takes my fancy, and then we'll just do that. And that's fun and that's cool because it's following your impulses, which is a good thing, and it is following your curiosity and teaching yourself to try different things and challenges that just sort of flick up into your mind, and that's fantastic. But if you can keep a light awareness of the kind of beats that you want to hit throughout the day, then it's going to be a massive help to you. So the first thing that you want to do is obviously warm up. I know I always harp on about this, but it's so important to make sure your body is ready for the movements that it's going to be doing, and this means getting the blood flow going. It means moving through the movement patterns, going through your ranges of motion, making sure all your muscles are woken up, making sure that mind-body connection is alive and it's ready to rock. This is going to obviously make sure that you're ready for the challenges you want to undertake, but it's also going to help you tap into the focus and the energy you get from having a present mind that is ready for the movements that it's going to be doing. So if you warm up and you show your body and you do the same sort of warm up all the time, and you show your mind and body, it's like, oh, okay, now we're ready for movement. You're actually going to tap into extra energy source because you're not going to be in a state of resistance to what you're doing. You're going to be in it, you're going to be doing it. It's the difference between going to a job that you don't like and going to a job that you do like. Not that parkour is work or should be work, but it's that kind of mindset. You know what I'm talking about. It's the difference between doing something you don't want to do and doing something you're super excited about. And generally, if you're not quite in the mood for parkour, but you're out anyway, then it's super important to have this ritual to warm yourself up, not only so that your body is ready, but also so that your mind is focused and you're going to tap into more energy that way. Next up is building your special bar. We talked about this last week. So if you don't know what that is, go and check out that whole video, but essentially you want to start building momentum. You want to start going onto those little challenges and just getting your body ready for the day. Now, remember, we're trying to manage our energy properly here. So it's not about doing every single challenge that we can. It's just about doing the ones that we can do that are going to get our mind into the right place, going to get our body ready for the environment that we're in. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go find something interesting, something that's moderately challenging, something that is going to take up a medium amount of energy, that isn't going to be a really big deal, but is also going to start, you know, making us smile and get us really into the session. So something that's caught your eye, something that's really interesting that you're just like, yeah, I really want to do that. And what you've got to remember when we're doing this, a big part of managing your energy is not only that your muscles get worn out, but you also slowly but surely wear out your adrenals. So when you do parkour, you're putting adrenaline into your body, it's coursing through your body, and those adrenal receptors can get worn out. You know, you can get into a state of, you know, kind of like a shaky wariness. You know, say for example, if you've practiced a move over and over again that's like a new move, like a flip or something, say you're learning to cork and you do it over and over and you basically start making progress, right? But there'll be a point where you've made progress, and you've basically got it, and then you will start freaking yourself out, and you'll start, you know, especially like if it's a new move that you're learning, you'll start freaking yourself out, you start doing it a bit wrong, you'll start like not putting your body in the right positions and this sort of stuff. And this can be put down to, not entirely, but in part, as because your adrenaline levels and those hormones that get activated through fear that you can sort of learn to manage throughout the session, as those get higher, you start to get more worn out, you start to get more jittery, more wary, and your body can only take so much of that. You know, it can get, this is why when your body's in that sympathetic nervous system state, then it's pumping all these hardcore hormones through your body, and your body will eventually get worn out of that. It will build up a lot of lactic acid, and it will need to do a dump. And you'll start, if you pay attention to this, you'll start to get aware of it, because it's that same thing. It's like your mind getting tired. You know, you can attribute it to a load of different things, but you know, in a certain way, it's just like your mind getting tired. Imagine like in the middle of the day when you're like, oh yeah, I'm so good, ready to do this like big massive jump, but you would never be able to do that in the end of the day. And it's not just because your body's tired, it's because your mind's tired of having such challenge put onto it. So this is a big part of managing the energy. And by the way, guys, if you're new here, please do consider subscribing. I'm doing my absolute best to bring you the best content that I can, the best information, help you overcome hurdles that I've had to overcome, but do it really quickly and not have to find out the hard way, just like take those easy steps to make good progress really quickly. So if you are new here, it's well worth subscribing. And then on a Tuesday, we take you out for a vlog and you can watch us actually do parkour, actually overcome the mental barriers that we're overcoming, and learn the lessons that we're teaching you now. So once you've found something interesting, you're in your flow, you're ready to rock, you've done something, you've checked off some challenges, you've built up that momentum, now you want to start hitting those big boy jumps. So you want to just start really fucking pushing your body. You want to really start, you know, trying to hit those max level jumps, hit those max level challenges, and get to like, because this is the point in the day where you're fully warmed up. It's the peaky point. You know, you're fully warmed up. You haven't worn your body out too much. You have your mind is ready, but it's also not been challenged, you know, too much. It's not starting to get worn out. You're at that nice sweet spot, that nice peak, and you want to start noticing when that is, so that you can effectively go to the challenges that you're after in that day. And this is the point. If you can hit those beats throughout the day, then not only will you manage your energy so that you can squeeze more out of the day, you'll also be more ready for the jumps that you want to do, those challenges that you want to overcome, because you'll be in a space where you know that it's the perfect time for you to be doing that, if that makes sense. So at this stage, you're gonna go find those big max jumps, those challenges that really mess with your head, those challenges that are harder to overcome. This is the time to be really maxing out your body and pushing really hard, but pushing your mental state as well. I tend to find that my body gets worn out a little slower than my mental state. So once you've smashed out those big challenges, once you've overcome those mental barriers and you've done the really hardcore stuff for the session, the next thing you want to do is kind of start to ease off but still be challenging your body. So basically go into jumps where it's like it's not like a huge deal for your mind, but it's still quite physically demanding. You're not really trying to overcome some mental barriers. This is kind of the part where your mind is starting to slow down. It would be a bit dangerous to be pushing yourself to go for those mental barriers. Obviously, I always encourage trying to blast through those mental barriers, but you have to be aware of your body and your mind and when it's getting worn out and just getting kind of tired of being challenged, so that it becomes kind of dangerous and you're just sort of pushing through. Like, really look at the motivations for why you're pushing through. Are you doing it for yourself? Are you doing it for the people around you? Are you doing it because you think you have to do it that session? Just be super aware. This is when injury starts to happen. This is when it's important to just start to ease off. And that is a point that I haven't even really touched on, is if you learn to manage your energy properly throughout a session, you're going to reduce your injury rate massively, because you're just going to, even if you don't decide to hit the beats like I'm telling you to hit the beats, you're going to be more and more aware of your body and your mind, and be more aware of why you're doing each challenge and what it takes to do each challenge, and how you can ease off at certain points so that you're not pushing through when you shouldn't be pushing through. And when I say shouldn't, I just mean that when it becomes too dangerous, when it becomes that you're not so in control of your body that you start to injure yourself, essentially. So this is where we're at. So we've hit our max jumps. We've pushed our mind as far as it'll go, and now we're just trying to hit those really big physical challenges. We're still trying to, get those bigger jumps, and this is going to help us obviously build the movement patterns and the bodily strength that we're after to keep progressing in the training. So this is why it's important to just like start really pushing those bigger jumps, maybe getting like some plyos in succession, some nice cat leaps with good climb ups, some 180s, whatever it is, just those big powerful movements. And the next step, at least for me, is that what I like to do is just sort of slowly ease off, not quite pushing those big jumps anymore, being aware that my muscles get tired. And this is another thing, like it's so important to realize that there's a difference between when your muscles get tired and when your joints are just sort of taking over, because your muscles will fail first and then it will put more and more pressure on your joints as you go. So if you're starting to like slam into your plyos, you're hearing a lot more of a loud sound, it's time to ease off, it's time to do those smaller jumps and take care of your body. Doesn't mean you have to stop. It's still important to keep moving through that place, getting that progressive overload, still challenging yourself, but you don't want to be landing hard. You don't want to be taking lots of impact. You don't want to be putting lots of stress on your body, but you do still want to be using it, because you don't want to just stop and call it a day. You can still train and you can still push yourself and get more energy for next time, build up that work capacity. But just be aware of where your body's at and make sure that it's not just pushing too hard and doing damage. Work out where the damage point is. And a big part of all of this is like I say, you don't have to follow the beats that I'm telling you. It's about an awareness of your own energy, and this is the best energy management system that I've found during a session. And I've been super aware of it for a long time, so I'm just sharing that with you now. So we're just in a space where we're easing off and we're still pushing ourselves, we're still trying to get those challenges out, but then you want to slowly just ease off a little bit more, take up some maybe more technical challenges where it's really not exerting your body very much, but you need to be precise. You're doing those more technical challenges, landing on some thin rail, or, doing a tic-tac off of something small, whatever it is, more technical challenges. I'm sure you're aware of what a technical challenge is. Stuff that's just putting almost no stress on your body, but it's still challenging for you. This massively helps you build up your technique, but you're doing it at the right point in the day where you're not just, say you were doing this when you were say you're doing this when it would have been more energy efficient to do your max jumps. You're doing this, rather than seeing a nice peak and a trough with your energy. It's like you're doing it at a time where it would be more effective if you were doing a maximum jump. It's better to do it when you wouldn't be able to do your maximum jump because you're out of energy, so you hit those more technical challenges, so you can include those as well. And then you're probably ready to start finishing off, so you're ending your session. When you're really tired, when you start slipping on those more technical challenges, it's like, okay, cool, my mind, my body absolutely pooped, time to stretch off. And this is super important. Make sure that you stretch off, cool down and relax. And I'm not talking about like do 5 stretches, fight against them, hate the fact that you're having to do them. I'm talking about relax, breathe, calm yourself, pay attention to your body, do the stretches that are going to help you relax the muscles that you've been using throughout the day, get your body realigned, loosen off anything that's been used really frequently throughout the day. But most importantly, be making sure that you're calming yourself down, breathing into yourself, breathing into the muscles, relaxing for the stretch, not fighting against the stretch, not like pushing it too hard, just breathe, relax. This is going to calm your nervous system down. You're going to move into a parasympathetic nervous state where your body's ready for rest and recovery. It starts dumping that lactic acid, it starts dumping all the adrenals. You are moving into a space of calm, so your body's ready to start recovering. And this is super important to make you ready for your next session, because the more effectively you can cool down, the more effectively you can stretch and get ready for recovery, the sooner you'll be able to train again, which is another huge part of energy management, but something I'll cover a bit more in the next episode, in the next part, which might not necessarily come out next week, but will be coming out soon, part 2. Which is all about managing your energy outside of the parkour session so that you're absolutely ready to go when you are doing parkour and your mind's in the right place. So if you're interested in that, or anything else that we might cover on this channel, please do consider subscribing. That's it from us today. I really thank you for joining us, and I hope you had a good time, and I hope you learned something. Let me know in the comments below what you learned, if you learned anything, what you'd like to learn in the future, and we'll try and cover it. We'll make sure that we cover it actually, and I will reply to every comment, so leave me anything that you want to leave down there. Let me know who I'm talking to. I'd love to know if you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced, and I want to be able to tailor these videos for the kind of audience that I'm getting, so just let me know. And thanks a lot, and I'll see you next week. Big love.